Renting. For the majority of us, our first residence will be a rental. In fact, I rented for about 6 years before purchasing my first home. Why rent though? What are the benefits? What about over the long term? Typically when we're starting out, renting is the least expensive way to get a place of your own. Think about it. There's no down payment, although you may be required to put a security deposit down. There's certainly no closing costs. If something breaks down, dishwasher, refrigerator, water heater, it's not your responsibility. And there's no long-term commitments. So if you decide you don't like the place, or if your job requires you to move, you have the freedom to relocate. With that said, there are some negatives. Although the cost of renting starts out lower early, the costs do rise over time. For example, if you're looking for a place now, it could be $1,000 a month, whereas in a few short years, that same place could be $1,500 a month. You're also bound by a lease agreement. They may or may not allow pets. You may not be allowed to personalize too much. In other words, let's say you wanted to paint a room a certain color. In the lease agreement, it may not allow you to do that. There's no guarantee your lease could be renewed. So if you found a place you really liked, they could decide not to rent to you again. And then finally, your landlord. That could be a risk as well. One, you could have a negligent landlord, whereas, hey, listen, I'm in Florida. It's the middle of summer, and my air conditioner drops out on me. If you have a negligent landlord that doesn't fix it in a timely manner, that's a big problem. And the other factor with the landlord would be this. You could be diligently paying your rent, but if that landlord is not paying their mortgage, you could be forced out of that residence and be scrambling to find a new place. So it's very important to understand who you're renting from.